Alright, what's up guys? Back again today with another video. This is kind of a response to Ball and Nick's nostalgic beer and nostalgic game video that he made just a few days back. So today I got for you actually one of Ball and Nick's favorite breweries. This is a Whitmer Brothers South by Northwest. This says all brewed with pecans, spice, cocoa nibs, and green chilies. So I think this is going to be pretty interesting to check out. I don't know if you can see that there, but this was like 15 bucks. So I'm gonna have this while I'm talking about this video. So let's open. I had a nice big cold mug, but I don't know. I thought it would take up too much desk space, so I'm just gonna pour it in this glass. It's a pretty nice bottle. Check this out. This was Portland, Oregon, brewed in the same year I was born, so that's kind of interesting. Got my handy Ace of Spades bottle opener here. Alright, so I guess in this video I'm just going to talk about the 3 games and 3 different beers that were really nostalgic, I guess, growing up. The beers are kind of weird because, I mean, like Nick said, you know, nostalgia for a beer is kind of weird. It's more just memories of a beer. Smells pretty caramely. It's good. It's really good. Can't really taste the green chilies at all, but can definitely taste the cocoa nibs and the pecans. Anyway, so sorry I haven't made a video in a long time. I been really busy. Ultimate Floyd came to town for a week. I've been playing a lot of games. I've been working a lot, so I don't know. It's just hard to make a video, and I really just want to make videos, you know, when it's fun and when I have things to talk about. But I have a massive pickups video coming soon. I got a ton of stuff back there that I've gotten since I did my last pickups video. Spent like probably $500 on gaming stuff in the past like month or two, so it's getting a little bit out of hand. Anyway, though, so the first game that I wanted to talk about was growing up. That's really nostalgic to me is Mega Man 3. I'm a huge Mega Man fan. I even have a Mega Man tattoo. Uh, my one and only tattoo. Look at that farmer's tan. Um, Mega Man 3. So I have kind of a funny story about Mega Man 3. I used to always play it in my living room, standing up, you know, like this close to the TV. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, really young. I don't even know. And I would stand up and I would play it, and I would get really frustrated. And I remember one time. I don't know what even level anymore or what it was, but I was sitting in front of the TV and I just kept dying over and over and over, and I just yelled I just yelled out loud, "I'm gonna kill myself! This stupid level," or something like that. My mom was sitting in the dining room right behind us, and she yells, "Aaron, don't talk about suicide like that." And that's literally, Mega Man literally taught me the definition of suicide. I didn't know what suicide meant when I was 4 years old, but when she said don't talk about suicide, and I had just talked about killing myself from the game, I put 2 and 2 together, and Mega Man literally taught me the definition of suicide. So I always thought that was kind of funny, and I've always told my gaming friends that. It's just something that'll always stick with me. But yeah, Mega Man, I mean, growing up, is just so good. The music is so good. Everything. It's just, I wanted to be Mega Man. I wanted to be a little kid in a robot suit jumping around. Mega Man was my hero. I loved him. It wasn't Mario. It was Mega Man. I wanted to be Mega Man. Uh, Next game is a game that I don't have the disc or the game. I might have I guess I have the PS2 disc, but I played this on PC. It's Final Fantasy 11. I played this game for years and lots of it. I probably put 200 plus at least real life days into this game. I would play this game throughout high school and college, from the day I woke up, or from the second I woke up till the second I went to sleep. And I mean, if you play this game, you know how hardcore it is and what it was like. It just consumed you. There were so many items in this game. There was money to be made. There was the economy. Like, It's really, really hard to explain this. And I know Alex Return to Mother Base played this game a lot, and it'd be really interesting to talk with him about the game. I was in one of the better guilds in the world. It was really popular. We made a lot of videos. Like this was back even before YouTube was big. We would make boss fight videos and raid videos, even though they weren't really raids. We were one of the first guilds in the world to kill this one boss named Kieran. I just this game. I mean, you could do so much in this game. It was an MMO, as I'm sure you know, and there's this one item in the game called Thief Knife, and to get Thief's Knife, you would have to kill this little toneberry that would pop in this temple. It pop every 2 to 7 hours or something like that, and the Thief Knife was really, really, really rare. And what happened when you got the Thief Knife is it had an item, or it had an effect on the knife that made rare items drop more often. But getting this knife in the first place was super, super rare. So it's kind of ironic. I killed that thing probably, I think 168 times or something like that. Never ever got the drop. And I'm standing there in this little room waiting for it to spawn out of thin air for 168 kills every 2 to 4 or 2 to 7 hours or something like that. It would pop. I mean, there's enemies there were huge guild wars over certain dragons. There were, I mean, so much drama in that game. It was like high school in a game form in a way. Just people talking shit, starting rumors. I don't even know. But when I quit that game, I sold my character itself for $2,500, and I sold 740 million gil for $10 per million gil on a site called Player Auctions. I made just under $10,000 from my account in that game when I was 22 years old or something like that. I had a lot of my crafts leveled up, so I could make high quality things and sell them on the auction house. And I sold 740 million gil for $7,400 plus $2,500 for my account. And I mean, it kind of made it worth it, but I mean, I lost a lot of relationships in that game, a lot of friends. I blew off because I wanted to do this or that in the game. I definitely got in arguments with my girlfriend about playing too much. Definitely had some grades suffer in college, but just the way those games are, they just take over. And I can't say it wasn't fun. I mean, I don't really regret it because it kind of was a gateway into the job that I got now, but it was definitely a little bit crazy. But man, I love that game. I'd love to talk to Return to Mother Base about that game. I'm sure he's got a lot of the same type of memories, and just that game just rings nostalgia for me. Every time I hear the music, every time I look at old screenshots, I love that game. I don't know what to say. It's really hard to explain the nostalgia, because when you're in that game and you were playing it for so long, it wasn't like you were just, you played through Mega Man and you beat it, or you played through all of them and then you're done with it for 2 years on the next song. You played it every day, all day long, for months and years, and it just, that world became your world. It wasn't just, you played a little bit and then moved on. It was, you stayed there. It was like you're in high school for 4 years. You're in that game for 3 years. The same world, the same towns, the same cities, and there would be an update, and you would do all that content, and you'd have, you'd see friends come and go. You'd see your online relationships build. Just so many things happened during that game. It was incredible. It sounds so stupid to say, but it just really was. I mean, those games are. There was a warning when you started the game that said, "Do not forget your friends and family. Please, log out." Sometimes, basically, it was like Sword Art Online or Dot Hack. You got consumed. You wanted to be in that world. It was, especially at the time, there weren't many games like that. EverQuest and Ultima, but back in the day, Final Fantasy 11, just so good, so good. And then the next game, and this is actually my favorite game of all time because of the nostalgia, because the way it made me feel, and that is the one and only Demon Souls. This game was just so. I originally got this. I had PS3 really early in life, and I was always into RPGs. And one of my buddies who knew that I had a PS3, and he knew I was always into RPGs, he sent me a text message and said, "Hey, have you heard of Demon Souls?" And I was just, "Nope, I never heard of it. Didn't hear any hype about it. Nope." And he's like, "Well, it's just like medieval RPG. It just came out today. You should check it out and go pick it up." And I really was for an RPG fix. I hadn't played it, and I didn't even look it up. I just drove straight to GameStop, said, "Hey, do you have a game called Demon Souls?" And they typed it in their computer and they said, "No, we don't carry that game." They said it was too small or something like that. I was like, okay, like, this is kind of weird. I drove over to Best Buy, which is in the same parking lot as GameStop was, and they had it, and I bought it. And I went home and I popped it in, didn't know anything about it, didn't hear any hype, didn't, besides the cover of it and what my friend had said to me were a few words, I didn't know anything. So popped it in, played it, made my character, thought it was really, really weird. I didn't know anything. I got destroyed by the first boss, like everyone does. And I just got my ass kicked over and over and over. And I was like, what the hell is this game? This is so stupid. I literally thought the game was broken. I didn't think that a game... I knew Mega Man and other games, Battletoads are supposed to be hard, but I didn't think this game was supposed to be hard. I thought it was just literally broken, like it needed a patch. So I was like, this is really, really stupid. Played it for like 3 or 4 hours, kept banging in my head. Then I put it down for a few weeks. I think like 2 or 3 weeks. And eventually, it was sitting on my shelf, kind of looking at me over in the corner, like, it was mocking me. He was kicking my ass, and I didn't like that. So I put it back in, and I started to slowly figure it out. And I started to read a little bit on the internet about what it's all about, and it became amazing. I remember just sitting at my desk like this, and I had my TV. It wasn't in this room, but it was set up like this, back and forth. So I had my computer and my my TV, and I would just leave it on in the Nexus, and the music and just the NPCs talking. It was just so eerie and scary, and it just set like such a tone for the way my little gaming room was. It was like I would walk in there, and the gaming room would be the world of Demon Souls. The TV would be on loud, and I would hear the music playing and the Nexus, and I would just like feel so encompassed by it. And I just remember just stupid things like the sounds of the cursor going through the menu, and it was just so desolate and empty feeling. It felt so cool. I remember getting invaded and sending messages back and forth on PSN to people, and talking shit to some people, or them talking shit to me, or I had one guy, he like showed me these shortcuts for this one level, but he was a phantom in my game, so he was supposed to kill me. But he was showing me like a fast ways to get around the level, and we were messaging each other back and forth on PSN. It was just really cool, really just like archaic and like old school feeling, and I didn't know anything about it. And I always had my office in my house, or my game room, whatever you want to call it, and I'd always switch up where the furniture was. And when I was playing Demon Souls, I had made this like little cubicle out of my like couch, TV stand with my TV and desk. So I kind of in like this little corner of my room. So I kind of had this little like, and this wasn't for Demon Souls, but I just had this kind of little gaming like really little corner where just Demon Souls was towering over me, and I was 4 in the morning, all the lights were off, and I was deep in the internet somewhere and deep in Demon Souls, and just like looking around every little corner and every little nook and cranny, but I didn't know I was supposed to be. It was just complete discovery to me. I was doing it my way, not from anyone telling me how to do it, not from reading a guide, not from talking to my friends, because nobody had the game at launch. And it was such like discovery. It was almost like Final Fantasy XI, when you'd be in these labyrinths and really deep in these punishing areas of the game, And this game was punishing, and so was Final Fantasy XI, and I think that's why I like them both so much. Final Fantasy XI, if you would die, you would lose XP, and you would level down, and so like it was really scary to go places by yourself in 11, because if you didn't have enough silent oils, which made monsters not be able to hear you walk, or like things that made you invisible, which monsters couldn't see. If you ran out of those mid like dungeon, you'd get killed and you would die, and you would have to go back to your home point and you would lose XP, and same thing, like you lose your souls. It was like the same exact concept, and that punishing aspect of games to me nowadays is really really like good. It's like having one of those like teachers who you always thought was an asshole growing up, and because they're always really hard on you, but later in life you're like, oh, that was the best teacher I had. They really taught me. These games kicked my ass, and they were brutal and they were unforgiving. But now looking back on them, I'm a better person because of them. I'm a better gamer because of them. And just Demon Souls, the music, the atmosphere it had, just set an atmosphere in my room too, in where I would play games, and I'll never get rid of this game. I'll be buried with this game. I love Demon Souls, and I know Dark Souls and Bloodborne have done things better systematically, but this was my first delve into that series and that world where Dark Souls improved upon, and so did Bloodborne. But this is what showed me the way. This is what I remember. Just how I remember it starting it all. This is how I learned to color, how I learned to draw, this taught me to crawl before I walked and walk before I run, because you get your ass kicked if you don't. So yeah, I love this game. So those are three games, and now I'll talk about like three beers that I guess are nostalgic, and they're like I have memories of, and I don't really know if nostalgia is the best word, but things I have big memories of. So the first one isn't exactly a beer, but it's a drink. It's kind of a beer, kind of not. It comes in a bottle. So when I was growing up through high school, my sister, she's 10 years older than me, and she's a ticket broker, like for concerts and games and blah blah blah. So she would always get concert tickets for my mom. And my mom would always go out to concerts. My mom owned her own business, so she'd always like take her employees to these concerts that my sister would give them tickets to for free. So like my mom was always out on Friday and Saturday nights, and I would go out, in high school with my friends too, or I would stay home and I would throw a lot of parties because I knew my mom would go out. My mom, she was pretty cool growing up. She was a single mom, and she dealt with my friends, she didn't care if I had a bunch of people over. Like, she didn't really care a ton if we, like, had some beers at my house when she was home or whatever. She was always just, like, a cool mom, Everyone always wanted to come over to my house and hang out because my mom was just, like, she didn't mind if we had sleepovers. She didn't care if we had a beer or two when I would have friends over. As long as we weren't going out, obviously not driving, and just staying home, playing games, watching movies, whatever high school kids do. So, like, this is before all that, like, really started. So one night, my mom goes out to a concert, and I don't know what I did, but two of my friends went to a party, and I stayed at home. I didn't want to go, or I don't even know, but I was like, why don't you guys, these are my two best friends, why don't you guys come over after the party, and, we'll hang out. You guys can sleep here, so if you're drinking at the party in high school, like kids do, you don't have to go home and possibly get in trouble. Just crash at my house. So they did. Like 11 o'clock or some time rolls around, and they come over, and my mom's still out, and they brought a backpack full of stuff from the party. And they said, hey, we feel left out, and thanks for letting us stay over, so let's drink. And what they brought was Mike's Hard Lemonade. And I know that's kind of like a girly drink or whatever, but this is like one of the first times I drank heavily in high school. So we're chugging these Mike's Hard Lemonades, and I'm really drunk. And my mom, she was always big into decorating. She always had her curtains, and she always had her couches, and she was always switching furniture. Well, at this point, she had this like really big, just white cloth couch. It had like floral design or something, and she loved this couch. She's just like a big decorator. She loves couches. She loves her curtains, her decorations, and nowadays we give her shit about it, but she's all into that. So we're chugging these Mike's Hard Lemonades, and I'm 15 or something, and what happens? I throw up all over the white couch. And it was actually the chair that came with the couch and like the ottoman. I just puke all over it. And I'm a 15-year-old kid, so I'm an idiot. And, I just get some wet rags and some bleach or something and try and clean it up, and it's just ruined. I just totally fucked it up. So we're like, oh my god, I'm dead. What are we going to do? My mom's going to kill me. And it's like midnight. And so we like come up with a scheme. And my one friend's kind of a clown, and my one friend is the quiet kid that's always scheming things. So we say, let's order like 6 pizzas. So we order like 5-6 pizzas from Papa John's. We eat a couple slices each, and then we leave the boxes, and we throw away like 4 or 5 of the pizzas basically. And my mom comes home, and I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry. Like, we clean up all the booze, we clean up, and I'm like, we had a pizza eating contest, and I got sick and threw up. And she totally bought it. She's like, oh, you guys, like, oh, Aaron, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. Don't worry about it. Like, we'll get it like, professionally clean. It's okay. Like, you guys are so stupid. I can't believe you had a pizza. And she just bought it. And I'm sure she was a little tipsy herself from being out at a concert, but she bought it, and we didn't get in trouble. Like 3 months later, we ended up telling her, and she kind of just like face palms, and she's like, God, you kids, you're so stupid. And she wasn't really mad, and she could have been, though. She would have kicked her ass had she known we were drinking and she wasn't home, and we puked all over her, or I puked all over her couch. And so, yeah, Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'll always remember my first experience when I was like 15 with, drinking a lot of alcohol and puking. So that was just, my 2 friends will always remember that experience too, and I still talk to them a ton. My next one is probably just Corona, and not because I drank it a lot, but because when I was hanging out with my cousin Mike, growing up, every weekend we'd go. It was my dad's brother's son, so my dad's side of the family, and my dad and his brother were really close. So we'd always go every weekend over to Mikey's. I call him Mikey, and we'd have a sleepover. And he had an out-of-ground pool and like a big backyard, and like we had like a tree fort that we had built like over a couple summers, and we'd always go hang out there. And my dad and his brother and like their neighbors, they would always just drink Coronas, and I just remember like Corona when I was like 5 years old was one of the first like beers that I kind of knew was a beer. It was like an adult drink. I just remember always seeing a bunch of Corona bottles, they're clear with the limes in them, just all over my uncle's backyard. And I remember, my dad and my uncle, they would let us have a sip every now and then. And obviously when we were 9, 5, 7, we thought it was disgusting. But yeah, I just always remember just Corona. I was always curious to drink it when I like started to get a little bit older, 18, 19. Mom and my dad always likes Corona, so it must be good. You kind of like father like son, or you mimic your dad. So I mean, not really a big story. It's kind of just what I remember. There's probably pictures like of my dad drinking Coronas with his brother, and then us playing in the backyard or swimming in the pool. It's just like, and now I see those Corona commercials. Corona, find your beach. That's their like slogan. And whenever I see those commercials, I think about my dad and his brother's beach, which was just my uncle's backyard with their pool, and nothing special, but just real. It was just just what you would do in the summers. And we'd always blow off fireworks, and they'd always drink Coronas, and we'd always get White Castle, and they would drink Coronas, and me and my cousin would always play Skate or Die on Nintendo, and they would drink Coronas, and just that kind of thing. And then my third beer is probably to this day my favorite beer, and I actually drank one on one of my previous videos, but But Christmas is my favorite time of year. I love Christmas. My parents always loved it. They always got me lots of presents. We always decorated a lot. We always got lots of presents for our other family. I would always buy presents for my friends. I still do. I love Christmas. I love decorating. I love Christmas music. I put it on right when it comes on the radio in November. I would put it on in the house. I love Christmas. But this is a Christmas beer. So Trader Joe's makes bottles like this big, the 22-ounce bottles. They're $6 each, and it's called Trader Joe's Vintage Ale. Trader Joe's is like a little organic grocery store. Everything is really cheap there. Everything is really good and healthy, but they make their own. Sorry about that. They make their own vintage ale beer, and it's their winter blend. And it literally tastes like if you took a bite out of a live, fresh Christmas tree and ate it. It tastes so good. It's so spicy. It's dark, just like this. It's spicy. It's like Christmas tasting. It's amazing. Every time Trader Joe's in the winter, right when they stock them, I start going there in like November looking for it. And I don't even know what date they get it in. It's always like in November. And I literally buy like 30 of them. And they're big ones like this. And just have them all winter. To be honest, I like them so much that 30 doesn't even last me the whole winter. Because I'll have, 1.5 of them like a day or like a night or whenever I'm drinking easily. And I always want my friends to try them because I love it. Everyone who comes over, I say, hey, you gotta try this beer. You gotta try this beer. It tastes like Christmas to me. It tastes like eating a Christmas tree. It tastes like the smell of your Christmas tree when you walk in your house. It tastes like mistletoe. It makes me happy literally to drink it. And it's really strong. It's like 9.6%, so it gets you pretty messed up. Which isn't the point, but you have one of them and you're feeling pretty good. And I just love buying them. They have like the kind of cork with like the top over it like champagne, and then you pop it off and it pops and it makes this big noise, and it's kind of like a celebration every time you open one because it's so good and like celebrating Christmas. They're just super good. Trader Joe's Vintage Ale. It's probably my all-time favorite beer. I just can't get enough of it. It kind of actually tastes like this, but has more of like a fresh, like, I don't know. It tastes like a Christmas tree. Really, really good. So I suggest going out and getting some Trader Joe's Vintage Ale. Only during Christmas time, and they run out of it. They don't restock it. So if you like it, go back and buy a ton of them, because come like January or even like a little bit before Christmas, so once they're out, they're gone. It's just they get one shipment of it. They really don't have that many of them. So yeah, so that's like this is really good actually. A couple games that I'm really nostalgic for, and I mean there's tons more, but those ones really, really stick out. A couple beers, there's a couple more. I remember my first favorite beer ever, which I don't even like nowadays, but I remember it. And yeah, those are just some things. So let me know some of your favorite beers, some of your nostalgic games, and if you want to do a response video, yeah, do it. I'd love to watch it. So look forward to a big pickup video coming and kind of a what's up video. I want to talk a little bit about when Scott, Ultimate Flood, was here. He came out for a week for Dark Souls launch. We played a ton of stuff. We did a lot of Vegas activities. I live in Vegas. We had a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon. Thanks.